Hello everyone, how are you doing? It's another Thursday, another Miss Strategy, Miss Tactics day. Today unfortunately Sopiko could not stream, she's traveling, she's gonna go on holidays, but I have her with me. I got a new mug, all new mug. I got this as a present from Sopiko, so it's the picture of the two of us and the name Miss Strategy, Miss Tactics, and my lipstick. Disadvantage of wearing red lipstick. Anyway, I want to thanks. I don't know what I'm speaking about anymore. I want to thank everybody who turned up on Sunday on our first ever chess hangout on my Facebook page. Let me know in the chat if you were there. Let me know if you liked it, because we will have more such hangouts. So the point of this hangout was that we could just have a nice time together, even without discussing chess positions, but simply talking about any topics that you like. And I had a chance to get to know you better. I know now some of you, where are you from? I know why you learned to play chess. What is it that you like about chess? Who taught you how to play chess? These were some of the topics we discussed together, and there are many more to come. Stay tuned until the end of this video, because I'm going to announce the next date for the next hangout on Facebook. Well, Facebook is just a platform, so even if you're not on Facebook, you can watch it. You can open my page whether you're a Facebook user or not. Simply, it is just very easy to stream on Facebook. That's why we are there, and you can chat while I'm streaming. So it's very easy for me to communicate with you there. At the end of this video, I will announce when we will have the next hangout, and I also have another even more important announcement to make at the end of this video. Stay tuned, or if you are watching on YouTube, scroll to the end of the video. Now today we are going to play Banter Blitz. Who is excited about the Banter Blitz today? Yeah! You know what? I read the comments. I told you I'm reading the comments on YouTube and in the chat, and you guys told me that I shall play rated games. And you know what? I always listen to you. So today, for the first time in my life, I'm going to lose rating publicly. Well, actually I thought about it, and it's not a big deal to lose rating. It's much worse to blunder mating one in front of 10,000 people, don't you think? So it's already bad enough for me. I'm gonna laugh at myself. Rating points are, in the end, just a virtual number. I don't care about that number. So today, I'm gonna lose it all. Rated 5-minute blitz games challenge me in the play zone. Let me just check in the chat if everything is alright. There you are. That is the chat. Oh yes, I am reading the comments on YouTube. Yes, grand you. Well, yes, I do speak a lot, and I don't think that's a gender-related issue. Yes, it was a nice session. So from now on, I will be reading the comments on my phone so that I can switch the screen to the chessboard. Challenge me for 5-minute blitz. And hello to everybody. Hello Jen, hello Rudolf, hello Craig Evans, hello everybody. I can't read all the usernames, but look, I'm scrolling up and you guys are all here. Thank you. Challenge me for a 5-minute rated blitz game. Premium members always get priority. So let's see who is our first victim. Not sure who's the victim, my opponent or me. Who is it? Let's mix things up. And 5-minute rated. Okay, randomly clicking as usual. If you are watching on YouTube, remember that you should go to chess24.com, and there you click on watch and watch shows. So that's where you can chat with me during the stream. I'm only reading the comments on YouTube after the video is uploaded there. Hope that you see the board well. Let me just know if everything is looking okay, and I shall make my first move. Against d4, you know that I usually play d5. I kinda do the same, whether it's e4 or d4. I always place my pawns this way. I have one pawn on e6 and the other one on d5. That's a scheme. I recommend this if you want to put less effort into openings, because it's very flexible. Even with different move orders, you can either reach the French or the queens can be declined. So this is the Catalan, and against the Catalan, sometimes I played with the bishop b4 check main variations in the closed position, and the other one that I like even more is the open Catalan. So I will castle, and after castling I take on c4. That is the main line of the open Catalan. Yeah, this is the starting position. Here white can play queen c2, or white can, yeah, queen c2 is the normal move, and after a6 he can decide to take immediately or prevent b5 by pushing a4. So I want to push b5. I don't mind giving this pawn back. Well, he doesn't let me. He doesn't let me play b5. So now I should think, because I haven't played this opening for ages, and I shall remember how this line was. Okay, in this variation, there's a funny bishop maneuver. So it takes me 2 tempi to place the bishop on c6, but you saw how passive it was on c8, right? And now it's much better on c6. It is true that it takes away the space from my knight, but I can bring the knight to b4. This is a hole in white structure, so even though it looks weird, I can go a5, knight a6, and knight b4. I shall just see if there's anything concrete. I think so far so good. I can do this. I'm heading towards the b4 square. If I have the knight on b4, and then I can maybe come with the other knight to d5, then I will like my position. Of course, white wants to play e4, and I shall stop that idea somehow if I can. Of course, I want to prevent it. That's why I'm controlling the square with 2 pieces. Now he's ready to push e4, so I shall think whether I want to allow it. I think I will allow it because I see a fork. So yeah, e4 is a bad move in this position because of knight c2. I don't think that my opponent will blunder it, but you can never know. It's good to play 4 tricks sometimes. And I think that was the best move in the position. So, oh, why is he giving me the rook? Am I missing something? Or he just missed my threat? I think knight b4 was the best move anyway. So I have an exchange up, but the position is not completely winning for black. Thanks to white's active pieces, central control, and I shall be careful with these pushes in the center. I shall make sure that I always have somewhere to go if it's e5 or d5 in some positions. Let's challenge the e4 square by... oh yeah, Van Gaal has just said, oops, so yeah, he blundered knight c2. I also thought that intentionally it was too much of a sacrifice. Yes, you have a nice control of the center, but it isn't worth a rook. Knight e5 is a good move anyway, and I will place my rook here. In case he captures, I can take back with the rook and I will have finally an active rook. It's a funny maneuver thanks to the push a5. So a5 brings the knight to a6, b4, and also allows rook to a6, and I might come to c6. Now d5, this is what I was afraid of, but I don't think it's that much of a deal. If I react well, I think I'll just take this one because of the pin. I hope that it's alright if he takes here. I will take with the rook. I don't want to weaken my king. No, never. As safe as possible. My precious. Takes the bishop. Well, I don't get it. Now I have 2 exchanges up. Yes, very active minor pieces, but I have 2 exchanges up. Okay, I understand. Then he will take on e6, so yeah, maybe before I move the rook, I shall take this one. But then he might move the queen, attack my bishop, and 2 pieces will be hanging at the same time. Okay, maybe I shall think a bit. If I move away the rook, takes, knight takes, queen is hanging and discovered, attack is the threat. I shall see if queen d1 is a bigger threat. I'm afraid that there's some trouble about my king. I will take here because actually I have 2 exchanges up, so even if I give back 1 exchange, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, I think now, well, I think he could have just moved the queen to attack my bishop. That's why I was thinking. I shall play faster. That is what is sure. I shall play much faster. Knight d3. Alright, I will come back. He wants to take here. I knew that was coming. Yeah, I will lose material, but I will just give back 1 exchange and be safe, controlling the d6 square. So he will take here, I'll take back with the pawn, but at least this pawn is blocked and no more tricks. I still have an exchange up, and there's not even a single pawn for it. This is an annoying pawn, but as soon as I can keep this blockade, and I'm doing fine after bishop d6, blocking this pawn, I'm just alright. I'm not alright on the clock, so that is a factor. You know how slow I am and you know how clumsy I am moving the mouse. So of course white has winning chances because of the time situation. By the way, apologies for the not so fancy looking background. I ordered studio lights because I wanted to make the stream the best possible, but they did not arrive for today. So you need to bear with me just sitting in front of the window. This was the best I could find, the best way to actually have light coming towards my face and not towards the back. So everything about the light, the window, and yeah, I think next week I will already have the studio light. Yeah, I thought that he could play bishop h3, but it's not such a big problem because then I will bring the rook to c8. And thanks to this knight, he's not getting mated, but it's just a temporary thing. I can also go knight g4, so yeah, I'm winning. Doesn't want to make a move. I think this is pretty much over, but even when you think it's pretty much over, make sure that you still are cautious, because you can blunder even in the last moment. So I think a common mistake with chess players, you see he wants to trade queens, and after that I can still lose on time. So now I shall speed up. I'm not giving mate, I shall speed up. Rook c3, I'm gonna take this pawn. Oh, yeah, I was thinking knight f4 was probably stronger, but anyway, I'm greedy. I want the pass pawn. So this is pretty much lost, and I already have more time on the clock. What I was trying to say before is that even in a winning position, you shall be cautious, because when we have a winning position, we might just think that the opponent will resign, that it's over. Now it's over, but it's only over when the opponent resigns. Don't ever think that you have won the game until the game is going on. That is something that I have learned throughout all my career, and it is not an advice for club players, it is an advice for everybody. I need to tell myself in every game when I am winning that it is still not over. It's not over until your opponent clicks on the resign button, or until he shakes your hand and signs the score sheet. So never ever be too sure about the victory. Yes, your position is winning, you still need to be alert, and you still need to make the best moves. Now in this game, I think it was just basically decided because of this knight b4 and e4. So make sure that when you play, you always pay attention to the opponent's threats. So knight b4, yes, that is the natural move. I was heading towards the b4 square, but at the same time, I'm threatening a fork on c2. White has to prevent that. Perhaps the best move here is queen b3, and then you still want to push e4, but it's a move later. You always need to pay attention to that. And I think after this, yes, White had some compensation because of the activity of his pieces, but I don't think that it is enough compensation. So I think the rest of the game, even though Van Gaal was fighting very well, so he activated his pieces, he he gave up a second exchange. But even like this, it's... but I was telling you that here, for instance, after e takes d5, I thought he might just play queen e2, and now 2 pieces of mine are hanging. So I would have given up the rook. I would have played bishop b4 and give up the a6 rook. But that's the good thing about having material advantage, that you can always give it back or give a part of it back. So I have 2 exchanges up. I can give back 1. You see, in this position, I'm forced to. But even if I was not forced to, this is so dangerous. So sometimes, just to secure the position, eliminate the opponent's best attacking pieces, you can give back some of your material. It's better to have 1 exchange up and be safe than have 2 exchanges up, or, well, you can translate it to 3 pawns up, a piece up. It depends on the position, but remember that sometimes it's clever to give back part of your advantage in material in order to eliminate danger. So that was this game. Let me see the chat. If you guys are saying something about it, or if you have any questions about it, you can message me now in the chat. I'm checking what you guys have said. And let's see. Yes, Craig is saying that I'm accepting rated challenges today. That is true. That is true. No, you don't need to challenge unrated. From today on, every game will be rated. So I'm gonna lose all my rating live on stream for you guys. Okay, I think... Yeah, thank you, One Card, for the game. I see now that you have written to me in the chat as well. And let's go for the next game. I think that's why you guys are here. 5 minutes, rated Blitz games right now against me. Let's see the new challenges. I'm gonna scroll up and down as usual. Try not to always pick the people at the very bottom or at the very top. So it should be random. Okay, let's see. Who have I chosen? Yo no soy tu viejo. That is a funny nick. Yo no soy tu viejo from Peru. Hi, Anibal. Nice to meet you. Hola, ¿qué tal? I'm black again. That is unfair. Anibal, if you are here, please make your first move. If not, I shall go for a new challenge, by the way. Let's have another sip. No, not again. Well, I will repeat now, but if in the next game it's d4 again, I will play something else, because I don't want this stream to be boring for you. I don't want to play the same thing all the time. I think I know where this is heading. I think it's going to be bishop f4. I was almost sure about it. Yes, I think this is a very popular opening among club players and also now among the elite players. So you can say that this opening is basically fashionable now on any level. Do I want to take back with the queen or with the pawn to control more the center? I think more natural with the queen, but for a moment I thought it also made sense to capture with the pawn. So this is very solid for both this position. Symmetrical, we have just traded the dark square bishop, which is a trade that white wanted, of course. But my position is solid, and then in the future maybe I could get rid of this bishop. You know that in every opening I play I have a bad bishop, so you see it's on the board. It is there. My bad bishop. Okay, one way that I could make this bishop work would be to play e5. For that I should play knight c6, then e5. After knight c6 I shall see if he can go for something active like c4, but maybe I don't mind. Let's do this. So I want to push e5, as I said. Another option would have been... Yo no soy tu viejo. Anibal is saying that it's his first time playing a Banter Blitz. I'm glad that it's your first time against me. So it's an honor to have your first Banter Blitz game played on Chess24 against me. I have managed to push e5, which means that now my bishop has a diagonal, and I guess he will take and play knight f3, because if you place your knights like this, it is nice, of course, but usually you will need to maneuver one away and then place the other in its place. Better to trade and then bring the next knight to f3. This pawn is hanging. Sometimes these b2, b7 pawns are poisoned. You know that there is a poisoned pawn variation in the Najdorf. So yeah, in that variation it's possible to take it if you know theory, but there are other openings where it's not so recommendable to take that pawn, because you waste time by going there with the queen. Anyway, now c3 I don't like much, because I think white is creating holes on the light squares, and that's why I want to trade bishops. So without these bishops, he's gonna have holes on the light squares. Now, this is the moment when it's ridiculous that I'm explaining positional factors, because I have just blundered a piece. I have to move queen e6, and after knight d4, I'm dropping the bishop. This is what happens when you're too positional. I was explaining about the pawn structure and yeah, I blundered a piece. Annibal is saying that he hopes that he will not mess up, but I think I already messed up the position. So let's see if I can find the least bad in this position that will be a piece down for me, just for being so positional. Always calculate as well, don't just think about positional factors. That is what you should take away from this moment. What should I do? I'm gonna lose a piece no matter what. I don't see how I can keep the material. Even bishop g4 is gonna take, and I will lose the bishop no matter what. This is so bad, guys. Okay, I shall not resign immediately. Let's go. I don't know, it's just bad no matter what. Okay, I'm gonna come here and then queen b6, so that at least I can take the pawn on b2, but I think my king will be just very weak with the knight on f5, so I think this game could end very shortly. He says that he only now realized that he wins the piece. Well, sometimes it doesn't matter that you don't see it immediately. I stepped into it, so there was no way back for me. And yeah, this is a piece down, and I think my position is bad, not only because it's a piece down, but also because my king will suffer. If only the queen could appear on the g file, I would get mated. All I'm doing now is to collect some pawns. In the lost positions, this is what you should do, at least get some material or dynamic play for the very bad position that you have. Normally, you should try to keep the queens on the board in order to try to mess up the position, but a piece up for white is a piece up no matter what. So I don't really think I have any chance to survive this game, but I have to try. And it's fun. I have nothing to lose. I have already a lost position. It cannot really get much worse, can it? Okay, I'm gonna go with these pawns. That's what I have for the piece. I guess knight f3, I'll move the queen away. I've got nice pawns, but it would be nice to have a bishop too. Okay, where shall I go with the queen? If it's to the d file, then rook d1 is coming. So probably I will keep the queen here. Some discovered attack. Now after bishop e2, that is his plan. That is not such a big deal for the moment, so I will play normal moves. How do I want to place the rooks? d8, c8 or e8, d8? It's always a big question where you place your rooks. Let's do it this way. I'm not sure why. Sometimes you just think one way because of intuition. Maybe it was better the other way. It's not always clear. What is clear is that I'm still a piece down. That is more than clear. I want to bring the rook toward the 6th rank, try to create some attack. Not that it's easy, and not that would solve my situation. A piece is a piece, but I have to try. So yeah, I don't have time, and I have a piece down. This is probably the worst game I've played so far in these Banter Blitz sessions. This is the third one. So yeah, in 3 Banter Blitz sessions, I think this was the worst blunder. Well, I mean, yeah, I blundered mate in 1 last week. So it can't really get worse than that, but at least that was funny. So yeah, now I don't really enjoy this game much. It's just bad no matter what. Anyway, I told you I'm gonna bring the rook. I'll try not to blunder something because of the potential pin. Right now it's still okay with the queen on h4, but you shall make sure that you are not blundering. I have 2 pawns for the piece, but it is still ridiculous. I don't even know what could he blunder. What is it that he can blunder here? I can blunder at some point my rook. It's still defended here, but if the queen was not on f6, he would have queen takes. Why is he repeating? What does he want? Well, I just play h6 so that I don't get back rank mate at any point. What is he doing? I will play d4. And I blundered my rook. Okay, today I'm playing horrible chess. Oh, goodness me. Well, this is just the worst ever game, I think, in my life. I played horrible. I blundered a piece and then I blundered a rook in 1. This was, I don't even know what I was thinking. I mean, I thought that he has to take and I take back with the rook. Oh, goodness me. Can you just cheer me up in the chat, because this is the worst game of my life. Congratulations, of course, to you, Jonas tu Viejo. I just played the worst chess of my life, but you took advantage of it. So, of course, credits to you, Aniba, for the game. Not credits to me. It wasn't even instructive, because the moment I wanted to... Aniba is saying, forgive me please, Anna, I admire you anyway. Of course, I'm not upset. I can only be angry with my own play. So it's never your opponent. It's you. It was my fault that after having a nice position, I started to think about the light squares, positional stuffs. You see, this is the reason why you should combine strategy and tactics. It's not only strategy and it's not only tactics. I see weaknesses on the light squares, so I want to get rid of the bishop. But if Sopiko was here, she would have told me that, Anna, you are blundering. This is a piece that's only protected by the queen, and the queen can be easily attacked with the knight, knight f3, knight d4, and I have lost a piece. It was that simple. So what you should learn from this game, and it goes also, it is an advice now to myself, Anna, when it's a position where you think about positional factors, also make sure that your positional idea works tactically. You always need to check whether your move is alright tactically. Calculate. You always have to calculate as well. First you have the concept, the idea. So I wanted to take advantage of the light squares, but I did not calculate. Okay, Annibal is trying to make me feel better. He's saying that it's not easy to play and explain at the same time. I think there's just no explanation for me blundering a full piece and then at the very end of the game blundering a full rook. Let's just say this is the first game of my life, which is true, and from here on I can only do it better. Unless I blunder mating one again. Let's go for a new challenge. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Let's mix things up. 5-minute rated. I told you I'm gonna lose all my rating, but it's not about the rating, you see. It's much worse to blunder a piece in front of the entire world. So everybody can think that, oh my god, she's an international master and she loses pieces in one move. Yes, I do. I told you that Banter Blitz is for fun and I'm gonna make mistakes. I don't do it on purpose. I make mistakes because for me it is challenging to do a Banter Blitz, so I need to speak and move at the same time. But it's not an excuse. I blundered a piece and I do admit that I blundered a piece. There's nothing that could explain it. No excuses. So, I want to pick users that haven't challenged me yet. Let's go for Jen. Hi, Jen. Jen, are you here? I love your picture. That's a minion. E4, so I can go for the French defense. It's nice to play against a female player. Jen, woman international master. Are you the Jen that I know? That you shall tell me in the chat later on. This is a silent of the French where white plays bishop d3 and then takes with the bishop to place the bishop on f3. I believe the only thing I remember is that I shall play c5, but I'm not sure if it was immediately or later. Now, next thing. I think I can go knight c6 and I don't mind if she takes and doubles my pawns because then I will take on d4 and undouble my pawns. So she wants to put more pressure on the c5 pawn. I shall now decide what I'm gonna do about that. Knight d5 is a tempting option so that I would threaten to take here. Let's do that. Makes it interesting. I can blunder again, something like bishop takes, queen takes, knight c3. With the queen coming out, you see that I can easily step into something with the lady. I love the queen. Of course I love the queen, but somehow I'm not so careful about moves that attack the queen. I don't know why. c3, just to strengthen this pawn structure. Not sure that that was the best move though, because now if I take queen g5, but once again I'm moving my queen too early and maybe it will be attacked. Now of course it doesn't mean that you shall never do it, but just be careful. Be careful. Okay, I think at the moment I will not do anything, just develop. Bishop e7, castle. Let's play it safe. Oh, and let's play faster. 3.5 minutes left. I still could not forget what I did in the previous game. That is something that happens to chess players very often. Whether it's a game, a blitz game, you play many blitz games online and you still have the previous game in your head, or if it's a classical tournament, it can also happen even if you are not playing the next game on the same day. So imagine, sometimes, especially mistakes of this level, such huge blunders, can make you think about it for hours, for days, and that is just so bad. Because if it will affect your next games. So what every chess player shall learn to do, even if it's not easy. Don't think that I'm an expert, but to try to move on quickly. If not, a bad game will make you have much more bad games than just one. Knight g3, knight e4 or knight h5 could be the route for this knight. Now I need to develop this bishop. b6, I will allow c4. I can take and then play bishop b7. I think that is still okay. But after blundering in the previous game, I would not be sure that I'm still alright with these hanging pieces on the board. So I want to go bishop b7 and be safe. For the moment, c4, knight takes e3 is alright. I'm attacking the queen. She doesn't have time to take on c6. But anyway, bishop a6 is the other move, but I just want to make sure that I will not blunder my knight. It could happen. It could happen. I think white could actually have a very interesting position if she manages to bring the knights, knight h5, knight e4, and then somehow bring the queen as well. Okay, queen e2. I think I'll just play queen d7 and bring the rooks. Of course, it was very tempting to go a5, but it was not really threatening to win an exchange, so that's why I didn't do it. Shall I chase away this knight or not? Let's do it. If knight e5, I will take. So what I did not want is to allow her maneuver the other knight somewhere where it could help this knight to jump to e5. Like this, I think I'm okay. I just wanted to make sure that my pawns are safe. And in the near future, of course, I wouldn't mind to take this bishop and then have bishop c5 as a possibility. But I think now she will move the bishop away, correct. That is the way. Knight f4 I can play, but queen e3. What's next after that? Knight d3. That's interesting. But is it good? I'm not that convinced. I'm a bit worried about knight h5, even though it's just a piece. But imagine knight h5, and then if the queen could come to g4 somehow, or the bishop to e4, now queen h5. So there are threats, there are potential threats. I'm gonna go g6, even though it's a weakening move, but I will bring the bishop to g7 if necessary. I just want to prevent any kind of tactics. But even like this, sometimes imagine knight h5 takes, queen takes. I can't prevent queen h7. Then maybe I'm not preventing anything. Maybe knight h5 is just alright. And yeah, after queen g4, pinning my g pawn, that's certainly what she wants to do. So I'm gonna move away, but it's getting really dangerous. I don't like these kind of positions with my king under attack, and if h5, she's gonna take it and I'm gonna get mated. So I shall not do that. I will bring the rook back, but it's looking not nice for me. h5 takes, queen takes, rook g7. Oof. I have to do it, I think, but I don't like it. I don't like this position at all. Queen h6, threatening knight h5. I think I'm in trouble. I think I'm in trouble, officially in trouble. Queen h6, what shall I do? I shall move maybe the bishop to try to trade this bishop on e4, because this bishop is causing me lots of trouble. She doesn't let me, she's pinning my knight. That is smart. So I will, bishop h7. How can I trade those pieces? Knight h5 she wants, and then take this pawn. Okay. Oof, I don't like my position at all. Knight h5, I'll move the rook, but this position is looking so dangerous. I think I'm in trouble. I'm quite sure, actually, that I'm in trouble. I will take like this. She can take here, then I will move rook b8. Oh, she didn't want to. Okay, in this case, I will take it here. Okay, I shall play much faster. I wanted to blunder my rook, by the way. I wanted to move rook g6. Why am I blundering all the time? I want to play queen b7. Luckily, it's not a blunder, because I was going to go for queen b7, but you see that I almost lost another rook. I don't have time. So, yeah, my position is not very good and I don't have time. My bishop is so bad. What should I do about it? I mean, I can place it on g3, but I have to take this pawn. If not, my bishop is horrible. But there's a problem on the back rank, so I have to push h5, h4 in order not to lose this guy before she manages to double rooks on the third rank. So I have to play this. And now I'm gonna bring my king. Luckily, it can't be taken yet, because I have the rook and I want to place the king on g6. In an endgame, of course, you should bring your king. I wanted to go to f5, but she didn't let me, and I don't have time, so I think I'm gonna lose this game now on time. Ooh, check. Why is she doing this? I think this was bad, because now her bishop is pinned. I just need to find a way to put more pressure on the bishop. I want to give a check and win the bishop. But anyway, I'm gonna lose on time. Okay, I have won the bishop, but I don't have time. I don't have time. I can't even free move, so I'm gonna lose on time. I'm gonna lose on time. Queen! I lost on time. Anyway, it was a fun game. Thank you, Jen. It was such an entertaining game. I think that after the opening, you played very well this part. I think because thanks to the way you brought the knights towards the king side, you actually got very good attacking chances. So in this position, I think that white is better because this e5 pawn doesn't allow me to bring the knight back to f6, which would be the normal defending place for the knight. And that meant that after bishop e4, it was getting really hot in here on the king side. Queen h5 is a threat, knight h5 is a threat. And after g6, I was thinking that maybe even now, knight h5, okay, it's not like I'm forced to take it, but I was thinking that even this position could be just bad. Queen h7, queen h8 would be mate in 2, and I cannot protect this pawn. So suddenly, I end up without pieces. Also, queen g4 is nice. She wants to play knight h5, so I had to come out of the g file. I'm just trying to bring back the pieces. When you are under attack, you need to bring as many defenders as possible. But I could only bring the rook. I cannot bring the knight. And maybe this queen f3 was not the best, because I'm sure that this position is very good for white. This should be an advantage. Now, maybe queen h6 was the best. I was afraid of this move very much because you are threatening knight h5. And I can't keep this pawn protected unless I lose the rook. So I wanted to move the knight away to try to trade the bishop. But even like this, what if you just move the bishop away? Okay, I have some pressure on the g2 pawn. So knight h5 is not a threat because I can take on g2 and I will give mate first, or I will win the queen. What I'm saying is that, let's say any move, this is not a threat, thanks to me winning first with this discover check. But maybe trading and then, or not, I don't know. Oh, wait a second. Okay, now I know it. Knight h5 immediately, because if I take the bishop, queen takes g7 is a mate. So I have to give up the rook. I will have to play rook g8, and after knight takes g7, now I take on e4. Well, actually it wasn't that simple. So I have an exchange down, but the knight cannot go away because of rook takes g2. Maybe I am winning this position. What a mess. So thanks to this g2 target, I had counter chances. Then maybe queen f3 was just the best move. And then, well, we had a balanced position. I think this endgame, I just need to make sure I'm not losing this bishop because it looks awkward on e3. Luckily, it's not so easy to bring the rook. It would need to be rook d2, rook e2, rook e3. Then the bishop would be hanging. But it takes too long, and I will push the pawn to h4, and then it's safe. And I can bring the king to g6, to f5. I think this position is equal, but what she did, f5 is too much. I think maybe you were too ambitious. Of course, you had the upper hand during the game, so sometimes it's difficult to switch and be just solid. But I think in this position you actually need to be worried as white, because I started to have threats. So once I stabilize my position, and now I have the control of the only open file. That is crucial in this position. So I'm threatening rook d2, attacking all the pawns on the second rank. Maybe here I'm already doing very well, because if the king goes back, I double rooks. It wasn't that easy anymore. I think I think you should have taken the d file yourself. So when I played king g6, maybe this was the moment. Just go back to the d file and be safe. And the rook, you will need to go back with this one to f1 so that it doesn't look so weird on f3. It was attacking my bishop, so it had a point when you played rook f3, but moves later, this rook on f3 was actually the reason why you couldn't activate your pieces, and this was just losing a piece because of rook e2 check. Thank you for the game, Jan. I think there was so much fun. It was really an entertaining game. I did not blunder a piece in this game, so that's already a huge step up from me. I did lose on time. Happens to me, at least it happens often. Let's go for one more game before I announce the next hangout and something else that I want to talk about. So, last game, challenge me for a 5-minute rated blitz, because I don't care about my rating anymore. It's already humiliating enough that I play the worst chess of my life in front of you guys. So, 5-minute rated blitz, last game. I think I have picked Bravo, Sir. Oh, Bravo, not Bravo. Brave Sir Robin. Sorry, Why am I black in every game today? Dear Chess24, I did not ask for playing every game with the black pieces. You will have to see the French defense once again. That's my favorite opening and you know it. Why I'm playing every game with the black pieces? Can somebody explain it? It's not Black Friday. It's not... I don't know what's the reason. But I have to play the French defense again because of this. So I had one Queen's Gambit declined, then it was an open Catalan, and now 2 French defenses. That will be the opening statistics for today. I lost basically all my games, except for the first one. Did I win the first one? Yeah, I think I did. But I lost 2 games afterwards. Not proud of it. Bishop d3. Well, the normal was e5. Now this is going to look a bit similar to the previous game. So yeah, let's make it look very similar. I'm gonna take everything and then play knight d7. Bishop takes? That's surprising. Why do you want to give up the bishop for the knight? Okay, maybe it's alright, but I'm surprised. Normally white wants to keep that bishop. I'll go bishop e7. It is true that I don't have the f6 knight, so once again I have to be careful, but without the bishop on d3, I don't think that this is that bad. Also, now I have a nice diagonal for my own bishop. The bad bishop from z8 will now be a superhero. Well, not a superhero, but just a normal piece. Finally, that's already a huge thing for a c8 French bishop. It has a diagonal. So let's castle. Then knight d7, knight f6, or knight d7, c5. In general, with this pawn structure, as black, you want to push c5 at some point, but you need to prepare it. You see that with this pawn structure, it would make so much sense for white to have a d3 bishop, and also for this attack. So that's why I was surprised that brave Sir Robin wanted to trade the bishop. I will go knight f6. I just want to keep the pair of bishops and make sure that there's nothing going on h7, so knight f6 is also a defensive move. This knight is active. The d7 knight was not very active. I want to trade it. And once he takes on f6, my long diagonal is becoming more open. The f3 knight will be hanging in a sense that I can destroy white's pawn structure. So I like this position. Knight g5 of course makes a lot of sense. Now I can blunder mate. After knight takes f6, it's queen takes h7. That is the threat. In case you were wondering, I'll take here before I blunder mate. And now I will go queen d5. and make sure that he cannot move the knight away from e4, because that would be mate on g2. So my threat is f5. After f5, he can't move the knight away. And if he pushes c4, at least I take this pawn. Or I maintain the queen on this diagonal. Rook e3, he doesn't care about my threat. Okay, let's see what's your plan after f5. Can't move the knight. I think he will play c4. And what I was saying, that I will at least take this pawn on d4. Or I can also calculate queen c6. But then d5. If I take, then he can move the knight away. And my bishop is hanging. But that is still a good position. Oh, now this was... I'm sorry, but this was not the best move on the board. Oh, sorry, brave Sir Robin. This was the whole point of f5. I did not mean to make you blunder mate in 1. It is me. It is me who normally blunders mate in 1. Not you. Not any of you. I blunder mate in 1. I blunder piece in 1 move. I blundered my rook in 1 move. I blunder everything possible. So yeah, that is my score for today. I think I made 50%. Maybe my rating performance would be about 2000. Actually, I don't care about rating, so I'm just saying it because you were poking at me that I'm playing unrated blitz. I'm telling you, it's much more humiliating that I blunder all my pieces. Rating is just a number. And blundering is not a nice feeling. Even if I can make fun of myself, which I think is good. I think it's good in general if you can laugh at yourself. But it still shows that today I was not in my best. I blundered in the, not previous game against Jem, but in the previous, the one before that game. That was really the first game I played in the last 15 years. And yeah, doesn't happen to me that often, but at least you were here to witness it. So I promised that I have announcements for you. The first one is about our hangout. This is my Facebook page. I think you know it. If you don't know it yet, you shall follow it, because this is where we have hangouts. So the hangout was, this was from the hangout, and this is the video. But the point of all this hangout is that it is all live. So this is not a recorded video. It's not just me crazy talking to the camera, but it is live. So in order to enjoy this live experience of you hanging out with me and fellow chess players, just having a great time, we had drinks, we had music. Well, what I'm drinking here is a lemonade juice with mint, leaves of mint in it, and icy cold water. It was tasty. But the point is that we just have a good time. We discuss any topic, chess or non-chess. I get to know you more because I really want to know more my fans. So I'm so appreciating all the comments and all the messages you send me, but I don't have time to respond one by one. I read them. Remember that I read your comments also on YouTube. Remember that. But I want you to be able to talk to me. So every month, a few times at least, I think around every 2 weeks, we will have a hangout. And the next hangout is, drum roll please, the next hangout is on the 29th of July. That is a Saturday. So not this Saturday, but the 29th of July. And the time, I haven't decided yet exactly, but what is sure is that the time you saw here, the starting time will be a few hours earlier than the previous session, because that will allow everybody also from Asia to tune in. I want to make sure that every possible country is in a daytime zone. I don't want anybody to have to wake up at 4 a.m. in order to join us. I want to make sure that it's possible because it might be morning in the States, it's gonna be in the afternoon for Europe and evening in Asia and Australia, but still, at least it's all daytime. So that is something to put on your calendar. 29th of July, and you are the first one to hear it. I haven't announced it on any social media. You are the privileged person that gets to know this firsthand. 29th of July, Saturday, and the starting time will be a few hours earlier than what was the previous one. Stay tuned for the exact announcement on my social media sites. I have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Make sure that you check those if you haven't yet. My other announcement is not that cheerful, but I will have a sip. By the way, I forgot to check the chat. I'm so sorry. I was so focused on the announcements that I haven't checked what you guys said about the latest things. So so many comments. I'm sorry that I was missing out on all the chat. So sorry. I see Jennifer in the chat. Once again, thank you for the game, Jen. Hi, Kramnik Student. Hi, Easy Rider 27. Hi, Let Me Win. You're such loyal fans. I see you every time. Hi to all of you. I'm sorry if I couldn't read all of them. And yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is also connected to community. So the hangout is a very nice thing. It's also very nice that we have these Banter Blitz sessions, and simply the fact that you can play against each other, that you get to know each other. Basically, chess is such a strong bond, such a strong linking between strangers. If you think of this, what is the one common thing between you and me? Maybe we don't live in the same town, we don't live in the same country, we are not from the same school, we don't work for the same company, we are not from the same family, we don't share the same friends, and yet we know each other and we hang out together, and it happens between so many of you. It's such a magical world where you, me, and so many of us are connected through chess. Chess builds a community. We are part of this big, nice community where everybody can be friends. And I think the main reason for that is because chess teaches us to respect each other. So we respect each other regardless where they are from, where our opponents are from, what do they do for a living, what's their religion, what's their gender, their age. Doesn't matter, because we have one community and we respect the other person. Now, all these great things that we got from the community is, I think, a big reason for you to want to be there for other chess players when they need help. And I'm talking about Nino Hurtsidze. She's a very strong Georgian player. She's in the Olympic team of Georgia. She won the World Junior Championship 2 times. She beat me. I played against her, and she's very strong. But now she has the most difficult game of her life. And unfortunately, it's not a game. Even if it's a battle, it's not a chess game. It is cancer. Now, you might think I've gone crazy that I'm talking about this in a chess show. But I want you, as part of the chess community, to think about others when they need your help. She needs 150,000 euros for her treatments, which sounds like an incredibly lot of money. And you might think that you cannot help because you don't have that much money. I don't have that much money. But do you think that we shall wait for 5-10 rich people to turn up and donate? How likely is it that wealthy people will actually give so much money that we don't need to do anything? You know that there are 600 million people playing chess. 600 million. Now, this show is normally watched by around 10,000 people, 15,000 people, if I include social media as well. 15,000 people. If everybody gave 10 euros, then 15,000 people would already have enough money for her treatment. Now, what is 10 euros? Or if it's too much, let's say 5 euros or 2, any amount. I want you to think of a number that is not much to you, that you will not miss that money. If it's just $2, then let's make it $2, but give something. Any small amount is huge when all of us will give. Go to this chess-based article, please. I'm begging you, for Nino and for the chess community, because together we can make miracles. We can save a life. Remember that it's not about how much you can give, but it's about actually giving. To so many of us, it happens that when we read something sad, then we just think, oh yeah, poor girl, or yeah, oh, that's such a bad luck in that country, oh, they are at war, they need help. And then 2 minutes later, you scroll down on your Facebook feed or in the news and you forget about it. We are just built like this, to be in our comfort zone and not care. I know this feeling because I'm guilty of it many times. But this time, I want to prove you that it's actually very easy to help. And I'm not here to preach. I've already donated. I'm not winning any money for this month's stream because I want to help Nino. So I want you to do the same and to act. Don't just think that she needs help. Don't just think, poor her, poor family, she's got kids, she's got a family, poor them. It's not their problem. It's everybody's problem. We are a community and we need to help each other. Please also contribute. This is all I wanted to say. I hope that you understand me, and I hope that I will hear from you. You can tweet me, you can send me messages telling me that you also helped. Thank you, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.